we are learning how to do rotations. So this is the third transformation that we're going to learn. And a rotation just means turning around a center. So when you have a rotation and you're turning around a center point, the distance from the center to any point on the shape is the same. So if I'm turning around a point and one of my points on the figure is 2 units away, then when I rotate it, that same point is going to be 2 units away, just in a different area. And then we need the information on rotation. These are what we are going to go, how we're going to turn. We're going to turn 90 degrees, 180, and 270. Our center of rotation will always be the origin. When you get into geometry and beyond, your point of rotation may be not the origin. Okay, but for now, our point of rotation will always be the origin. And then the directions that we're going to turn are either clockwise, which you turn, go to the right, so think of the hands of a clock, how they move, or counterclockwise, or counterclockwise. And that would just turn the opposite way. So think of an analog clock. Like if you look at the clock behind us, the second hand is the one that you see that's moving continuously. It's in a clockwise manner. Okay, so think of how clockwise goes. If we have a clock, we're going to look at 12, 3, 6, and 9. So your paper is going to start off in like the 12 o'clock position, right? Where it looks normal. And then you're going to make a quarter turn to the 3, and that would be at 90 degrees clockwise. Now, I'm using abbreviations on here on your homework for the rule and words. You cannot use abbreviations. If I turn it upside down, so like here, this is my paper. If I turn it like that, that's 90 degrees. If I turn it like that, upside down, that is how many degrees? 180. And if I turn it like that, it is 270. So 3/4 turn, 270 degrees clockwise. Now, I can do the opposite. I can take it and turn it this way, which is 90 counterclockwise. So this one, 180. So 180, you don't say neither clockwise nor counter because the paper looks the same, right? It looks the same. So you don't have to say clockwise or counter. And then the last one, 1, 2, 3 to the left is 270 counterclockwise. So on your paper, when you're writing the rule, you can use either 90 clockwise or 270 counter. And then when you're figuring it out, if it says 270 counterclockwise, you could actually turn your paper 90 clockwise. You're in the same area. Okay? So just note that these are the same. 270 clockwise, 90 counterclockwise, or 90 clockwise, 270 counterclockwise are the same. All right, so here we have our little friend, the turtle. And why? Don't be so mean to the turtle. Okay. If I have that and I gotta turn it 90 degrees clockwise, he's on his side, right? If I have my turtle and it's 180, he just goes upside down. Oh, that's 90. Counter. Sorry, I was thinking it was, I didn't look, I wasn't reading it. He's going to the left, right? And then this one, 180, is upside down. He's upside down. Woo, it's getting dizzy. Okay. All right, so write these down. You are going to rotate the coordinate plane, the direction, and degrees stated in the directions. You actually turn your paper. Then you record the coordinates of the new vertices. So while your paper is turned, you're going to record the coordinates. Don't forget to label each set of coordinates with the letter prime. And then you're going to record what quadrant you are in. And then right before you write this, you're going to turn your paper back to the original position. Okay? Graph the new point on the original. That's turning your paper back. Coordinate plane. Connect the points, label the vertices. So let's, 15 seconds. All right. So do you have this one on the note sheet? Okay. So above that graph, I want you to put rotation 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Now, okay, let me just tell you. On your notes, I don't look at your notes. Well, I do when I'm walking around, but that's when I'm grading them. But as long as you're writing and doing it, I'm fine. But on a test, you must put rotation 90 degrees clockwise about the origin if you're writing the rule in words. Okay? If you were asked to write the rule in words for two shapes and you wrote, like you put rotation 90 degrees CW and you didn't put about the origin, you would get it wrong. You wouldn't even get half. Okay? If you forget about the origin, it's wrong. If you put CW, it's wrong. If you forget rotation and you have this, I give you half. Okay? But a rule in words always has the transformation name. Yes? About the origin. Has to be about the origin. Yes? I usually accept rotate. All right. So, yes. On your notes, as long as you know. On the test, about the origin. It's about the origin. All right. So, take your paper and turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, your paper should now be like this. Okay, now you're pretending, guys, that this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. We're going to write these ordered pairs. So put y prime, and what is y on the ordered pairs? It's -2, 5. So you're writing down these ordered pairs. And then put j prime, and that is -4, 5. And then put k prime, -5, 2. Then turn your paper back to the original position. And we're going to plot these points. Oh, wait, hold on. Go back to this 90 degrees clockwise. What quadrant are we in? Second. So I would put Q2. That is a reference so that when you plot the points, you should be plotting them in quadrant 2. Now turn it back, and let's plot them. -2, 5 is at y prime. -4, 5, j prime. And -5, 2 is k prime. Then you just connect the points. Are you in quadrant 2? Yes, that's a little check for you. Okay? So as long as you're turning your paper right and writing down the correct ordered pairs, you're good. All right, let's go to the next one. I want you to write rotation 180 degrees about the origin above the next graph. Okay, how are you going to turn your paper? Upside down. So it doesn't matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise. Upside down is upside down. And then we're going to write all the ordered pairs. So A prime would be what? -1, 5. And then I'll go here. N prime, +1, 3. And then U, -4, 0. And then G is -5, 2. What quadrant are we in? Mostly in quadrant 2, and then you could put like a little 1 right there so you know the little part is in quadrant 1. Remember, this quadrant reference is just for a reference. I do not grade you on this. Now, if it's in all 4, that you really can't reference. Okay, turn your paper back and plot the points. Question? We're not making a reflection. We're rotating. Okay, we are rotating it. It's a turn. All right, and then we're going to look at the characteristics after. So 1, 3 is N prime. -4, 0, U prime. -5, 2. G prime, and -1, 5, A prime. Yes. Okay, so when you turn your paper upside down, and what I would do is I would write those ordered pairs sideways so that when you turn it back, you can still read them. Okay? Yes. No. Because you're not counting towards a line. Your writing order there. Okay. Now, okay, so let's look at the properties. Let's look at the properties of rotations. So write down, and you might want to write this on the back, rotations. Rotations. Now, translation was a slide, and reflection was a flip. So what is a rotation? A turn, okay? You are turning. So this is a turn. Okay, same size. So notice it's same size, same shape. Same shape. If it had parallel lines, when you turn it, it's still going to have parallel lines. So it preserves parallelism. Writing this down because this is a good pop quiz information. Okay, let's look at the orientation. We have two types of orientation. We have the letter orientation and we have the physical orientation. So, letter orientation. So you just pick a letter and then you go clockwise around that shape. U-G-A-N. And then go to the next one. Is it still U-G-A-N? Yes. So your letter orientation is the same. How about the physical orientation? Now, here's how you check the physical orientation. You pick a letter. So I'm going to say U. And always start on your pre-image. U. It's on the top, right? Is U on the top? No. That tells you the physical orientation changed. Is line segment NU the same as N prime U prime? Yes. Is this angle U going to be the same? Yes. So you would say corresponding angle measures are congruent. So corresponding angle measures. Also angle measures and corresponding side lengths. Angle measures are congruent, both. Angle measures. Angle. Let's learn how to spell. Are congruent, which means the same measurement. And then corresponding side lengths are congruent, also are the same. All right. So those are the properties of a rotation. It's a turn, same size, same shape. So if you are plotting points and it is not the exact same shape, just turned, one of your points is off. And then letter orientation should be the same, physical orientation different. All the angle measures should be the same, the corresponding ones, and the side length should be the same measurement. All right, I want you to write on this one, 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. And let's turn it counterclockwise, so we're going to go to the left. So the top of your paper should be turning to the left. And it should look like that. So let's, M is our what? You write the ordered pairs. Yes, question? Excuse me? Oh, we are not doing the algebraic rules for rotation. All right, you don't have that one. Okay, I want you to do this one. 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. All right, so let's look. If I rotate this 90 degrees counterclockwise, M is at 4, 0, J, 2, negative 1, and N, 5, negative 3. That is correct. What quadrant am I in? Quadrant 4. So then you just plot them, and it should look like this. Okay, does it look like that? Any questions? All right, do one more. Ordered pairs on the chopping block. Ryan, for which one? L prime is 0, negative 5. Okay. Negative 3, negative, oh, E. Hold on, I'm not saying they're right or wrong. We'll check them. 0, 0, and negative 1, negative 4? Okay, so let's look. We're going to turn it upside down. Okay, is L negative 5? No. It is negative 4. Just got to watch the counting on that. And then A is 0, 0, negative 3, negative 3, negative 4, negative 1. Okay? And then you would turn it back. It's in quadrant what? 3. And then when you plotted it, it should have looked like this in quadrant 3. Yes, question? As long as you attach it. Yeah. I always, like, especially if I'm doing it upside down, I just kind of write them sideways so that when I turn it, I can still see it. All right, so now, real quick, let's just review real quick. Now, we're not going to, you don't have these, and we're just going to kind of go over them real quick. What kind of transformation does this look like? Translation, right? Because one is, it's not reflecting, right? Because that F would be down at the bottom or over here. It's just sliding down. The F is on the top, the F's on the top, and the letters go in the same exact order. So that is a translation. What does this look like? Translation. The H is at the top, the H is at the top, and the letters go in the same order. This one is translation. You can see the M is on the top right, the M's on the top right. Okay? And it goes what? M, what is that? T, L, N, T, L. It goes the same. All right. What does this one look like? Reflection. Now, the way you can check a reflection is look at the letters. W, go in a clockwise manner. W, X, Y, V. And then start here. W, V, Y, X. Do they go in the same? W, X, W, V. No, going clockwise, they don't go in the same. So that's how you know it's a reflection. Okay, that's the only one that doesn't have the same letter orientation. All the other ones do. Okay, so this one, H-I, H-G, reflection. Okay, so now let's look at something different. Orientation is the same. So like if there's a Z up here, there's going to be a Z on the top. This one, from letter to letter, so D to D prime, I can draw perpendicular lines to a line of reflection. They're all, like if you draw lines from letter to the same letter prime, you're going to get all parallel lines like this, and they're going to be perpendicular to a line. On rotation, if you go from G to G, E to E, J to J, see how those lines all cross? That you can tell is a rotation. Okay? But this one, if you're like you're not sure if it's reflection or rotation, check the letter orientation. Reflection's the only one that changes. Okay, so now let's look at rotation. So do you have that one? Okay, this is how I check. You always start with the pre-image. Always start with your pre-image. Now, what I do is I pick a letter on the pre-image, not on an axis line. So say I'm going to go C. I usually go clockwise. One is it's less writing. And you're going to write the rule, okay? And you're going to go to the C prime. You're going to count the quadrants you go through to get there, that you're going to go to get there. Do not count the quadrant you're in. So you're going to like draw a circle, except you're going to stop when you get to that letter. Okay, so how many quadrants? 1, 2. So you would say 2 times 90 is what? 180. So you would say rotation 180 degrees. Do you have to say clockwise or counterclockwise? No, not on 180. And then you would just say about the origin. Okay? So can you go the other direction? You can. It's going to be more writing when it's 90 or 270. Okay, and I know a lot of you like to take the shortest, amount of work necessary. Yes, question? 90 clockwise or 270 counter. You can pick either. I would hesitate to do both because if one's wrong and it's a test, then everything's wrong. The question's wrong. I would put one. All right, so let's find a letter on the pre-image. Not on an axis point, so you would pick like E or D. So let's pick E. And I'm going to go clockwise, and I'm going to go circular right until I hit the next E. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And so 3 times 90 is 270 degrees. So you would say rotation 270 degrees. Which direction do we go? Clockwise about the origin. Okay, that's your rule in words. We're not doing algebraic or rotation. Now, could you have started here and gone this way and went through 1? So you would either say 270 clockwise or you would say 90 counterclockwise. But and then you have to say rotation 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Okay? So either one is fine. I wouldn't put both. But either one is fine. Okay, I want you to try this one. And remember, your rule in words always starts with the transformation name. All right, so if I start with G, remember you always start on the pre-image and go to the image. How many quadrants did we go? 270 clockwise about the origin, or 90 counter. What's that? Either. Only one. Or you could have gone 90 clockwise. Or counter, sorry. Okay? How many of you started at G prime? Yeah. Watch, you've got to start on the letter itself, not the letter prime. Okay, do this one. Yeah, remember, when you're counting the quadrants, don't count the one that you start in. How many you go through. Where's your notes? They need to be out. And you're going to be the last one out. All right. Absent. Hayden, what'd you get? Yes. Okay, so you start here, go here, 1 quadrant. Okay? Write this one, do this one. Yeah. All right. Jonah, what'd you get? 90 degrees counterclockwise or 270 clockwise. Okay, on your homework, guys, on your homework, just double check the rules because they could be mixed in. Okay? Okay.